Hey class, my name's Mr Thornton, and this is another GCSE top grade top up for higher tier. This lesson, moments. This topic was suggested by Adam G. If you've got a topic you'd like me to cover, then just leave a comment below. You also need to make sure that you've already watched the foundation tier video, just here. If you haven't yet watched it, go back and watch that first because it covers some of the basic topics which you need to be familiar with before we go into this video. Now of course, moments of a force is a relatively simple idea at foundation tier, but you do need to use this equation. M equals F times D, or the size of the moment of a force equals the size of the force that's itself multiplied by the distance that that force is applied from a pivot. On higher tier, you always need to be able to rearrange these equations. If the equation shows up relatively early on in the paper, then they probably won't ask you to rearrange it. You'll just need to be able to put the numbers in and possibly tell them the units. But later on the higher tier paper, you need to be able to rearrange this. So if you know the magnitude of the moment, you know how many Newton meters are being applied, and you know what the size of the force is, you need to be able to figure out what distance that's being applied from the pivot. Conversely, if you know the moment and you know the distance from that pivot that the force is being applied, you need to be able to figure out the magnitude of the force. So it's just a case of, if you know M, you will either need to be able to figure out F or figure out D given the other one. Let's quickly run through 3 examples just to check you understand. Imagine that you knew a moment of 20 Newton meters was being applied to a 4 meter lever. You know M, you know D, but you want to find out F. Rearranging the equation gives us F equals M divided by D. Putting your numbers in, you get F equals 20 Newton meters divided by 4 meters, which equals 5 newtons. If we apply a 100 Newton weight to a lever and it gives us a 25 Newton meter moment, then in this case we know M and we know F, and we want to find out the distance D that the force is being applied from the pivot. Rearranging the equation, D equals M divided by F. So the distance equals 25 Newton meters divided by 100 newtons, which equals 0.25 meters or 25 centimeters. Finally, you try one. If a force is being applied 200 millimeters away from the pivot and it generates a moment of 5 Newton meters, what is the force going to be that generates this moment? First, try to rearrange the equation to find F. F equals M divided by D. Now put your numbers in. 5 Newton meters divided by 200 millimeters. If you got an answer of 0.025 newtons, then you fell into a trap. And this is a very common trick on exams. You need to convert the 200 millimeters back into standard units, in this case meters. So that should be 0.2 meters. Remember to convert from millimeters to meters, just divide by 1,000. So to find the force, our calculation should be 5 Newton meters divided by 0.2 meters. And you should get an answer of 25 newtons. Finally, with moments on higher tier, you need to be aware of a key concept, and that is line of action. If the line of action of the weight of an object is outside of the base of where that object is, that object will tend to topple over. But what does this mean? Well, put simply, if you've got an object with a shape like this, and all of its weight ends up over there, way beyond where the base of this object is, then that object's going to tend to topple over. If you've got an object with a much more stable shape, this triangular shape for example, then that object is a lot less likely to topple over. It's going to be much more stable. But remember that the weight acts downwards and it acts from the centre of mass. If that weight is acting downwards from the centre of mass outside of where the base of the object is, then that object is probably going to fall over. I hope that video really helps you. If you want to check how well you understood, then try the snap quiz. The link is right here, and it'll also be in the description, along with all the other links for this video. If you want to check out my other videos, then click right here. If you want to download the free app I've made to help you with your revision, then you can click right here. If you want to subscribe to my channel, then you can click right here. Don't forget to leave likes, and if you go to the comments, you can give me feedback and let me know which topics you'd like me to cover next. Good luck in your GCSEs everyone, and thanks very much for watching.